Welcome to Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas. Backed by popular demand is the intrepid Drake Bailey for another question and answer session with Gail of Gaia about current events on and above the planet with E.T. You may want to make some popcorn and buckle your seatbelt. This will be another wild ride.
Do I do this and fold my hands like I'm in church?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are. This is Gail of Gaia, and this is Free Range, where we graze on wild ideas, and we got some good ones today. And I have with me Drake Bailey, and he says he's got some bombs to lay.
Yeah.
So it's one of his
they're
favorite.
They're not big ones. They're little ones, the kind that'll fit in somebody's pocket, and they don't know what's happening, and they walk about 10 feet, and boom! You get a big burp spot on
Awesome. We need a bunch of them right now. And before we get started, I'd like to give a special thank you to everyone and anyone out there who has been kind enough to contribute to my channel. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It keeps me afloat. It keeps me from being all totally stressed out. And so thank you so much. It means a lot. So anyway, we can take it off from there. I just had to say that.
Okay.
I love all those people. So welcome everyone, and thank you again. Okay, Drake, what you got for us?
Who
knows where to start, right?
Did you say what?
I said, who knows where to start?
Well, there's a lot of it out there that you could start with. Tell me if you get any echo. You get any echo?
Okay. No, not yet. It's all good. It's a little better too. I can hear you better.
Well, that's because I turned the volume up a little bit.
Good.
The main thing of all of this is not necessarily what you see and hear on the news. That is the stuff that they're allowed to put out. That's the information that you're going to get, irrespective of how nice or nasty you might be, etc. Now, the fun part starts when you start going down below the level of the system to where the rubber meets the road, and you're going to get that in one way and one way only. And I will supply certain general information. First, everybody's been playing cancel culture. They've taken websites down and all that sort of stuff. Well,
yeah, they're making it twice as hard for us to keep our channels up or to spread us out between different platforms, and then nobody can find you. And not to mention the time it takes to upload, fill out the description, fill out the title, wait for it to upload, and all that. It's double your workload.
The Grinches are coming. The Grinches are coming.
Yeah,
we thought you used to think it was bad if the Russians was coming. Well, the Grinches is coming, and they're on Earth. They're supposed to be on. They're sitting in our country doing this stuff. Anyway, there's I'll just mention this right off the top. There's a secret mission. It's going to be undertaken by a group of people that I am going to sort of direct. And it's going to be nasty because it's going to woolly booger the left. Now, by woolly booger, I mean it's psychological operations type of thing.
I've never heard of the woolly booger before, but okay.
Well, woolly booger, come on now. Woolly booger's been in the black neighborhoods forever.
No,
but anyway.
Well, I haven't heard of it before, but that's me.
The gist of what is happening is simple. We're letting things run their course, and so is President Trump and legal people that he's got working on it. Now, what he's doing is he's pulling a bait and switch, so to speak. And that bait and switch.
Well, that's a nice picture of your hand.
I'll give you another one. You would like.
No, thank you. You can keep that one. Okay.
Anyway, President Trump is having to let things run their course. And a lot of the types of things that have been done are very simple. They have negated the right in terms of each individual to have legal format that would cause us to be able to address the situations as they come up. This means that the people that are in position of judgeships have negated the right to be heard.
Yay.
This is first. Giuliani only mentioned it once, but he said they'd get their comeuppance. Well, my. Okay, so you have several types of lawsuits that are involved in all this, and I know everybody don't want to hear this, but you need to know what's really going on. Now, behind the scenes, there is a lot of, let's say, conundrum that people are not talking about. One, and this is very important, the party, the Democratic Party, who just won the election, is split right down the middle. Split. And by that I mean you have on one side the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the girls that think they're so cute, and on the other side you have a whole bunch of the conservative Democrats. Those conservative Democrats are raising hell. Ooh, and so is the extremists of the party. They're raising hell too. And what it amounts to is that these two, you're not extreme enough, whatever they're doing, okay? And on the other side, they say you're too extreme for anybody to go along with you to get along, let alone anything else. So nothing can be done. That's first. It negates all of it. Third thing is the runoff in Georgia. You're going to have one Republican win one seat. Doesn't matter which one. But that ties up the Senate to the conservative side. Then you have the problem of the conservative majority in the Supreme Court. They will not rule in favor of anything that is unconstitutional, such as what the Dems have in mind. The Marxism that they have touted so highly and flagrantly is all well and good right up until somebody starts taking it down. Now, by taking it down, I don't mean just having a policy fall over. I mean searching out and seeking out the individuals behind it and eliminating them. By elimination, I mean assassination. I mean execution, whatever you would like to call it.
Whoa, really?
And there are about 100,000 conservatives who are very well armed are about to take that initiative. Now, the problem is that the Democrats recognize that and they want to institute their gun control. Their idea of gun control is anything that shoots harder than a BB gun is a no-no. Bear that in mind. Anybody who thinks they can come take my guns, well, they're welcome to try, but they better bring body bags. And there are a bunch of these people, the 100,000 or so that I mentioned. These happen to be the people that have instructed and retired from instructing their
military
students. They've been, well, they were instructors for 25 years and retired from the military on a PSYOPs basis, on a
so they know what they're doing.
Yes, special forces. These are the people that they're going to have to deal with. They're not very
Good luck.
Yeah, they got an attitude problem about the existence of the Marxists in the United States, along with myself and a whole bunch of others. Now,
I don't like it one single bit either.
Now, what's going to happen though is a great elimination process. Just like in the toilet when you eliminate, you know, ker splash. Well, we get to flush it when we're done.
Okay, I didn't want to see that in my mind, but okay.
Now, here's the interesting part. The interesting part about all of this is you have Dems, radical Dems on one side, and you have conservatives, or mostly conservative Dems and Republicans on the other. And the gist of it is that we will get the problems rectified.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're finding out that we've got some Republicans that are rhinos, so to speak. And I'm ashamed to say that there was a time in my life when I was Democrat, and it was funny because my son said to me, well, Mom, you said the Democrats were for the little guys and the Republicans were for the big rich guys. And I said, well, darling, it's changed drastically. And we were misled and lied to about a lot of things. So anyway, I walked away from that part many years ago because I knew it was selection, not election. And we're getting the proof of that right now.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Those rhinos, as you call them, Democratic Republicans, or whatever you'd like to list them as, I call them all Marxists.
No, I was talking about the Republican. When I meant rhino was, I mean, a Republican in name only.
Yeah.
I mean, because they have
taken. That's what I said. That's what I just said.
Oh, well, I didn't hear it right then.
They're going with the Democrats. Okay. So therefore, guess what? They're going to get treated just like the Democrats are going to get treated.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Now, I will suggest, if you want to really know the truth, get an idea about these lockdowns and whatnot. They found, there's more than one study, they have found that the greatest point of infection, that's the election infection, in case somebody didn't know, and the greatest source of that are government buildings and the people that work there. I just came out 2 days ago.
Interesting.
Yeah. Well, bars, restaurants, they're not guilty. They get 2 out of 1,000, maybe. Usually it's more like half a person, however that works. I don't know, I don't know how the government fed, but it sounds painful. But anyway, they say that half a person can get infected out of the same number, or get 5 or 10 or 20 out of a government building. So we're in trouble on that line. And the science, the numbers don't add up. Such as one place. Now this is neat. You'll have to look this up. You might have to listen to Fox News to find out all that I have heard.
I don't trust them anymore.
What?
Fox News.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about the past. This is in the near past.
Oh, okay.
The thing about it is that it was accurate, and it told of a situation where all of the people would have had enough. They're very close to that now. Business is about to go, etc. Okay, and the problem with that is that these people are going to take the radical end of the political spectrum and run with it. Now, when I say radical end, I'm not talking about radical right. So watch it. The fun's about to begin. So you got these people that have got businesses and a job and whatever, and they're going to screw them over. Then you got all of these people that have want their kids in school. They're going to screw them over. I mean, you look at the amount of people that are being affected, and it turns out huge. The one sweet thing, and it is always dynamite. I just get my jollies off on this. Guess what? Almost as many people are traveling for Thanksgiving and as they did last year. And some of them, I put an open invitation on the door. You hungry? Come on in and get something to eat. Oh, the police say they won't enforce. Well, how's Kumo and all this grandiose mind going to justify getting somebody to go do it? Sheriff said they won't. Law enforcement says they won't. It's going to hit the fan. The people.
It's about time that the police start siding with the people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the sheriffs already have, and I have to tell you, my hat's off to Sheriff Mack for what he's doing, because he's teaching and retraining sheriffs so that they are fully informed of the Constitution and know what they are doing that's lawful, rather than just so-called legal and answering to mayors and governors, which they don't have to do.
Well, there's another part of that, and that's called the Constitutional Sheriff's Organization.
Yes, that's what he's.
Have some fun. Look it up. Oh, it's huge.
Yeah, it's big, and I'm happy to see what he's doing. I may even have him on an interview eventually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
So, have we got some questions? I don't want to pop a bubble too much.
Well, I wanted to bring up
what I'm talking about.
A little bit too about what I had just heard about, that, you know, Kemp in Georgia received like $100 million to him or his family not too long ago from Dominion. And then the fact that Eric Coomer, who is the brains behind Dominion, came out and said, don't worry about the election. Trump's not going to win. I made it fucking sure of that.
2 years ahead of time.
Sorry to use the French, but that's what he said. Yeah. And he has over 12 patents, and all of them are on election software. And what happened is they found out, they intercepted an Antifa call that he made, and it's on tape.
And
so good luck with that one, buddy, because that's going to come back at you. I'm sure.
Well, the Proud Boys and one of the militias took out the bad guys in DC for a short period anyway.
Oh, it's just unbelievable what's going on. It really is. And the way the media is lying, blatantly lying. Trump won in a landslide. I don't care what anybody says. And Biden lost in a landslide. And they've been stuffing ballots the old-fashioned way and switching ballots with software. And it's all going to come out in the wash. And that may not be a very popular thing to say, but it is what it is.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
Bummer.
Okay, here's a question that is related to med beds. Please ask Drake Bailey.
Related
I want you to watch a video, so we can't do that one. We're going to have to go to the next question.
All right.
This one, it says, hey, Drake, what happened to Freedom Reigns?
It fell over. Well, somebody on that show wanted to take me out. The same thing happened to Thomas Williams. He wanted to take me out, so I'm just doing it myself now.
I was going to ask you about him. That'll be in a private conversation.
Yeah.
Anyway, also, are there people in every state pursuing and establishing their own government?
No, that collective action didn't come off very well, and it's not working.
Okay. There's another one. Hang on, my computer's very slow today. Holy smokes. These are really hard. Single space questions. Those are hard for me to read. In the SSP, this is somebody who was in the SSP, okay? I was tortured, same as others, I guess. I can't remember that clearly, but what stuck to me was the product either from Creator or maybe from Nazis that were teaching or killing me so many times. The only question clearly comes up is, can somebody tell me what happens when or if you die? I don't remember the answer. Simple. It's a transition, right?
Yeah, you're in 3D now. Whether other people like it or not, they're still stuck. And they go to 4. And then they go to 5 right after. And so you basically advance yourself through the dimensions.
Okay. I'm going to go to another question because these are single spaced and they're all bunched together and I can hardly read it. It's just too hard for me to read. I'm sorry. So we're going to go to the next one. Everybody tends to send us videos and stuff that we're supposed to watch, and I just can't keep up with it all. Gosh, there's a whole bunch of those kind of things. When a court decides and Trump wins, what can we expect next?
Well, do you remember what it was like before before the election? It wasn't exactly kosher. It wasn't exactly together, and it was rather nasty. And you think the left's going to let us get away with that easy? They're going to bring out the wash tubs and beat on them in the middle of the night like it did in Washington, and you know.
Yeah, they're going to start all kinds of trouble once the proof is. What election?
Did you notice as soon as the election was supposedly decided for Biden, that all the riots quit?
Everything's settled down. Yeah, that should tell you a lot right there, huh?
Yeah, it tells you everything.
When election fraud evidence gets presented to the Supreme Court, how long will it take for them to rule on the matter?
It depends on how complex the situation is. Quite literally, it can take anywhere from a week, maybe 2, for everybody to confer.
Is there a deadline? Is there a deadline?
No. Supreme Court can rule anytime they need to. See, the thing about this is that they kind of lost things in perspective to deadlines and that sort of thing. All that went out the window when the fraud is proven.
Okay. What does it take to prove the fraud?
Oh, anything that any ballot, specifically mail-in, but those who come in person to vote have a problem in terms of they have to present ID, they have to be able to match the signature on their signature card, and they have to have a permanent address. If any of those 3 don't, that vote goes. Just as simple. So right now we've got 240,000 in one state, right at 200,000 in another, and 160 or 70,000 in a third. That would swing the election to Trump. They have the evidence. When you have affidavit after affidavit where the Postal Service switched the date, that should tell you something.
Yeah, really. It's unbelievable the level of fraud that has gone on in the highest levels here.
Let me clear everybody in on something. You'll love this. After the election gets overturned to Trump, we're going to have a house cleaning like one you've never seen before.
Does that mean everybody in Congress is going to be arrested? Oh, just about everybody?
Not necessarily that, but they go flip burgers somewhere. They'll be blackballed from all
government positions,
political jobs, one of the things.
Good. They haven't exactly done anything for the people lately, have they? I mean, where's the stimulus check? I mean, Pelosi's been holding that up forever. I mean, there are people out there that are hurting big time.
Yeah. Pelosi thinks it's funny. She was laughing about it.
I don't think it's one bit funny. Anyway.
You know how to fix this? You know how to fix the checks and all that, get everything squared up? It's real simple. You take their money, all of it, until such time as they comply. Ooh.
Yeah, won't that be nice? They all keep getting their checks. They keep getting their pay.
Exactly. Yeah. See, they're not doing the job and they refuse to do the job, then maybe we ought to put a little kibosh on their funding games.
Oh, I think definitely it should, because they should be experiencing the same thing as every average American is experiencing. Now, there's a few people that haven't lost their positions, but but those that have, what are you laughing at?
Okay. You just shrink their underwear about 2 sizes.
Okay. What do people and the ETs upstairs have to say about December 21st? Anything special about December 21st, or is that being blown out of proportion?
Not really. Nothing more than it's an
Another day.
equinoctial alignment thing, huh?
Another day, another dollar, another equinox.
Yeah.
People are putting a lot on that one. I don't know.
The people, here's what you get. You get a bunch of dinks that go out there and look stuff up, and they think that they know. And the fun part about them supposedly knowing is, oh, this is prophecy. Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Is it lawful? What is a lawful way to replace a sheriff? We had a county supervisor just do it. Another county a few years back, Jerry Brown filled it quickly. My understanding is a special election by the people. Am I wrong?
No, yes and no. Yes, you're wrong. That's not as how simple as it is. And secondly, yes, you're right, but no, you're not in terms of the manner in which to go get a sheriff. You simply prove that the person has violated their oath of office. Bingo, they're gone immediately. Okay. Just as quickly as you can hand them the paper.
Well, why can we do it so quickly with sheriffs and we can't do it with Congress people?
We can.
Okay. Well, people just have not done it, have they?
Yeah, that's right. Nobody stood up and said, "Hey, we're gonna burn your house down." Well, goody.
Yeah, you know, that's been the problem. We've sat back and taken things for far too long, and people, if it didn't affect them directly, they didn't care. And now it's time to care, or we're going to lose all the freedom we ever had and end up a communist country.
That's what the Georgia election's about, losing all our freedoms. Because if that goes the wrong way and the Marxists win it, then we're in trouble. We're going to have that's going to start the second Civil War immediately.
Well, you know what? They haven't really taken a real close look at Arizona yet, but I guarantee you this state
it don't matter.
Get their butts off too. There's a lot of fraud here. We haven't been red for years on end and all of a sudden turned totally blue. Bullshit.
Mm-hmm. Well, see what color I'm wearing.
That's just one of many, you know. But still, they have quite a few electoral votes here. I think it's 11, something like that. But anyway,
okay.
What is going on with the children that have been kidnapped and harvested for adrenochrome? And are there children at Gitmo in cages being harvested? Now, why would somebody think that? I don't know.
Well, the rumor was that the cages were located at Gitmo. That's not exactly true. It's in the Southwest, and that's all I'm going to tell you. And everybody that I know of that's got a gun is looking into taking out the people doing it.
I hope so, because I think I know what location you're talking about, but I'm not going to bring it up. Okay, there's and then they went on to say there's a document I have showing they are being graded on blood type and disposed of by age 13. That's what, yeah. Anyway, people never want to talk about that, but they never think about all the children, 8 million children that go missing.
It's real simple. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter how horrific it might. No, it doesn't matter how horrific it is. What matters is when you make it personal to the individual that could do something about it. In other words, you walk up to them and you put your .40 caliber on one and then the other, and you ask them which one they want to keep for a man. Okay.
Oh. Okay. I thought you were meant their kids or something like that. And I'm going, well, some of these sick people sacrifice their children on purpose.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Until you make it real for the people that allow that, such as, say, a woman and a sharp knife and a chest adjustment. Ooh. If you make it personal for these guys, for all these people, it will be taken care of immediately.
Okay. Wait a minute. You have, okay, here's a question. Can either you, 10 ounces isn't here, but this person wants to know more about Lucifer. Can you elaborate on that at all?
It's an office occupied by various individuals over a period of time. It is the light-bearing or light-producing office.
Is that during the day, and what happens at night?
At all times.
Okay, well, that's not what I heard, but who knows what you hear and what you read is what's right and what isn't. We've been lied to in so many different ways. I don't know what to believe anymore, actually. Sometimes it resonates, and sometimes I go, wow, that doesn't make sense, you know.
What was that, man? It just flew across your windshield. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, is it possible to talk to Lucifer through meditation? I thought Lucifer was Satan, you know.
Well, the office, you can address the office anytime you wish. You don't necessarily need to meditate, but you do need to be in a proper frame of mind to do it.
What frame of mind is that?
Oh, boy. It's a combination of meditative and directed personability. You asked. Don't look at me there.
Okay, well, I've never thought of Lucifer as any kind of a good entity, so that's just
well. The thing is, the Lucifer is an office. You have varying occupants over the period of, well, however many eons, and so therefore you get each individual. But they follow a script. They have a definite list of things to do, how to do them, and all that. Lucifer, the bad guy, the evil, the Grinch, that is a manufacturer of the church. It didn't used to exist. The office was decided to be adopted so that they could clarify things. So if you really want to know, you should learn how to get in contact and say, hey, man, what's going on? I heard this about this, that about that, etc.
Well, since our history has been written by the victors and just about everything we've been taught ever has been a lie, it's really hard for people. I mean, you can do your own research, but how do you know when you research that you're getting the truth or you're just getting more lies?
The truth, first of all, is self-evident. Secondly, that which goes contrary to all the BS that you've been hearing, doesn't matter which particular brand or kind or anything, that is generally a good idea to understand that could be the truth. The way you tell is you ask, your first thought being that of the creator. And that's the way you tell.
Hello, everyone. This is Gail of Gaia. I'm the founder and producer of Free Range. I do my best to bring you the best in guests and information that's very relevant to you today. I'm making this short little clip today in order to ask you to please contribute to the channel. I'm not monetized by YouTube. I don't sell any products, and I don't have Patreon. So I depend upon your contributions. And I know everyone's having a tough time, but even a small amount from a number of people would help tremendously. So thank you. Please contribute. And again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I do need your help. Thank you.
And that's the way you tell.
Okay. It should resonate with you.
Yeah.
Basically. And if you use your mind too much, then you're getting confused.
My computer's stupid. It's not smarter than I
am. Okay. This one, I really want to do time travel to the past with my physical body and without external technology involved. Is it possible?
Yeah, anything's possible. You might not come back because you get there and be all done with and flop over or something. You know,
and it's a how so? They want to know how too. If you can do it, how do you do it?
Okay, you are going to have to look that up because I'm not allowed to give you the secrets to time travel. Anybody can.
Well, that was, you know, yeah, well, okay, whatever.
I'm not. Whoever it is asking that doesn't understand that, check with upstairs. They'll tell you the same thing I
Well,
just
yeah,
said.
people need to connect with source.
Yeah.
And pay
Or his
attention.
representatives. Find out what's going on. The only way to find out what's going on. Oh, I don't know I didn't know there was a question. Well, yeah, you got a question, don't you? Well, sure I do. Well, ask it.
Okay, for those people that will not wake up, will they be moved to another 3D planet, or will something happen to help wake them up somehow? Because I think they're in a dream spell, or that's what Sasha Stone, how he puts it, but it's like they're hypnotized.
Well, if you want to have some fun with your own mind, think about everybody being woke up, whether they want to be woke up or not.
I want that to happen. Are you saying that if mass numbers of people wanted that, it would happen? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that every living creature on the planet will go through the transition, which carries in part various different things. One of those is that it defines you to you individually. That's not general public knowledge, but it does so in such a fashion that you have no, and I mean absolute none, question of it. And when you yourself are defined, and you've made the quantum leap of changing densities, then you're going to be self-informing of a lot of this. And don't forget, I said classes. Remember, classes, lots of them until you get done. You got a lot to learn.
Okay. After we shift into 4D, for those that aren't awake, will we remember them, and will they remember us?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if everybody's eventually going to be woken up, I would think, to their level, eventually, just like you said. Yeah.
Eventually.
And that's going to be maybe traumatic, but
well, no, not really. It'll be explained to you in 5D explains it to you. You go to classes in 4D to learn how to correctly operate within 5, and then you make the transition to 5, and then you start your classes. It's like a 10-year program in a college or something. It's intense.
Well, okay. Will the flip of the switch to 4D occur when we are asleep, or could it happen when we're awake? If there is a flip of the switch, is that what you're?
Well, I use the switch as an analogy, but it works. Just as much as the cockroaches don't like the light, the bad guys won't like it either, but then they'll find out that they're part of it and they won't know what to do. That's going to be fun.
For those people that are awake or think that they're awake, will it be obvious to them what has occurred?
Well, they get awakened correctly. In other words, the modern idea of awakeness screwed up, and you got to remember that we're going to be schooled in the right way, and you'll be hearing screaming and stuff like that.
So even people who think they're awake are going to be surprised, undoubtedly, about some of the things that they really awaken to, right?
Yeah. And I get to say,
we weren't as awake as we thought we were, eh? No. Yeah, so be careful with that one, especially judging others.
You might step on it and trip and fall over it or something.
Will we get suppressed tech like the med beds and replicators before the shift to 4D? I think we've answered this before.
No, you'll find those evident right as soon as the thing actually happens. You'll notice that your microwave don't work right. Or hopping them out. Well, it don't exactly do that. You don't need to put nothing. I don't put nothing in there. All you do is take it out. Oh, take what out? Whatever you told it to make. What do you mean told it to make? You mean I got to get into an argument with my microwave? Oh, you just wait.
Okay, let's see. Oh, did you hear the story about the attorney who wanted to sue the entire anyone that was? Oh, let me go to this page for a minute. About the coronavirus being a hoax. German lawyer Rainer Fulmick sues the world over coronavirus.
Thing is, he's right.
Well, yeah, he is. He is. I couldn't agree more. And I still don't understand why people are so afraid of something that has a 99% cure rate. And why are you being tested if you don't even have any symptoms? And none of it makes any sense. It just shows how powerful the media is. It shows how
it's got to make it look good. Come on, man. Horse and pony show, remember?
Yeah, the show must go on, right?
Right. You're getting there.
Well, I get a lot of stuff.
You can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the
time. Let's see. Do you know anything about Scorecard or that Siddle? I think you say it. Those are the software programs. Siddle, SCYTL, something like that, and Scorecard, software programs that were used in the election. I think they were somehow connected to Dominion in various ways. I'm not sure.
They were.
Okay.
And they've been found out. Wait till this lady lets loose her bombshell. She's supposed to blow it all up.
Sidney Powell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we didn't get that many questions. I don't know. It's because what's going on, but we really do.
Everybody's kind of losing interest in the whole thing because there isn't any more fireworks going on. They think. Now, just because you don't think so and because you don't see explosions does not mean that you're going to have a smooth sailing. They're liable to have mines out there like they did in World War II. Big, nasty, big old things with these little sensitive things, and they get too close to your boat and boom.
Well, do you mean that, are you talking about literal real life bombs?
In some cases, yes.
And do you think like when the election truth comes out, because obviously we've been dealing with untruths, that at that time, that's when we're really just like all of a sudden when they said Biden won, all the riots stopped. But now all of a sudden when we go back to, wait a minute, Trump actually won, Biden didn't win at all. That's when we're going to have problems. Is that what?
Then you need to get the machine guns out and meet your rioters and ask them who wants to die. I guarantee you that'll solve the problems right there. I bet 90% of them say no. And the reason about this is it's not so much that they value life so much one way or the other. They're not real. They would like to have you think that, we are really, Black Lives Matter. No, they don't. None of that matters. And the reason it doesn't is very simple. If you'd taken 1/10 of the effort put into the riots and put it into getting the Black lives to matter, you'd be done with it already.
Well, that whole movement had nothing to do really with Black people.
That was George Soros.
Yeah, it was all the money is funneled into the Democratic Demon Rat organization, which has been co-opted by some very dark entities as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, oh, I can't make you watch a video right now because that would be too hard to do. Yeah. What about the Galactics? Have you heard anything from the Galactics? Any kind of updates or any what's going on with that?
Yeah, what you got to remember is that the Galactics and groups like that are not what they say what they say they are. They're not for us one way or the other. They're for themselves. You're talking somebody, and they'll love this, who more or less act like the Ferengi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, some people might not know the Ferengi, like we watch Star Trek. So explain that.
Galactics, I heard that. I hear everything. Ooh, you don't like that? Act different. Do better. What they're supposed to be doing to Galactics.
They have agendas for their own benefit
no, they're
as
supposed
well.
to not have any agendas other than one, and that one is to promote and advance mankind. And they're not doing that. They're interfering, and therefore they don't make squat. Same way with the militia groups and politicians and whatnot here on the ground. They are doing their own thing for their own benefit. They're not doing the beneficial for everybody. And there's a big difference in that. And this is what, if Trump can get it squared away to where he wins this, I tell those people they better run. If they don't run and they're not fast enough, ooh-wee.
Oh, okay. Well, have you ever heard of Monkeyworks, the YouTube channel Monkeyworks?
Yeah.
There seems to be an awful lot of air movement by military planes all over the country and concentrated in certain areas and so on as well. So, do you have any comment on that?
Yeah, the fun part about all of this stuff is that logistics are being formulated, not rescinded, but formulated. Trump has been. That's why Trump cleaned out the Pentagon. The formulation.
Boy, yeah, he really knocked out a lot of people got knocked out of there, didn't they?
That's right, and there's a reason for that. Not so much that they are loyalists, but that they will be loyalists to the Constitution.
The Constitution is what matters. Yes. Well,
yeah.
I had the chief of staff, Milley, came out and said exactly that the loyalty is to the Constitution, not to any individual, not even to the country, so to speak. It's to the Constitution. And I thought that was a great thing.
Now, you got to remember something. The Constitution is two things. First and foremost, it's a contract between we, the people, and the federal government, but the federal government has limits. Period. Okay?
The federal government has what? I didn't quite hear that.
Limits.
Oh, limits. Okay. Yeah, because we have unalienable rights, which are God-given, and that's part of what the Constitution is supposed to protect. We haven't got to the good part yet. We haven't got to the good. Oh, okay. Well, get us there then.
There's a thing called the Bill of Rights. And that Bill of Rights, see, people don't realize that the Constitution had already been formulated and written by the Indians. Ooh. The council had already written and approved it, and there's a few words changed. That's it. Okay. The Bill of Rights and all of that stuff was in it. The Indians had already thought that through. The educated ones wrote it down. So what you got, and this is interesting, what you got is you've got that legal contract between the people and the federal government. Thou shalt, whether you like it or not, abide by your own limitations. Now, the problem that they come up against, and this is going to be really, really fun in the Supreme Court, is where the states overstep their limitations in terms of being able to screw with the federal election. Because they're attached. The limitations are attached. You cannot write a constitution for a state that impinges on the larger federal constitution. Doesn't work that way. You can't take a law and subjugate it or negate it with a state law. Doesn't work that way. Well, the fun begins when they start enforcing that, because the enforcement will come from, guess who? The sheriffs. Oops.
Yay! That's why we need those sheriffs trained in the Constitution, because they haven't been. They haven't been, and that's a shame. So I'm glad that Sheriff Mack is on it.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. There's some other sheriffs too. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Thought you might like that little piece of information so that you understand. Now, here's something else that they don't like. You can't rule on these lockdowns and all that by executive order any other way. Ooh, guess what it is? It's got to be legislated. If it's not legislated, if it is rescinded or ended, then that ends it. They have to re-legislate it and have to redecide and put the legislation through, and then it can be implemented. So Kumo, Mr. Cool,
Kumo,
and others can take a flying leap at a rolling donut. First of all, it's not law.
Exactly. You know, I've said that to people, Drake, and they got all bent out of shape at me because I did.
Well, that's tough shit. You can't help them being stupid. Man wants to be stupid. Well, let him be stupid. That's fine. Okay, here's the deal. If somebody oversteps that bound, you can have that person to include governors, senators, mayors, and all those turkeys that think they are all that. You can have them put in jail.
You know, because one of the reasons that they're pushing this so hard is that chances are very high that they took money to get to where they are, and now there's payback. And that is, you put out these mandates and you do this and you do that. Remember who helped you get there? That's the problem.
Isn't it funny how it works that way? It's sort of like in Roadhouse. The guy's got to charge him something in order to keep the church happy. And he says, isn't it funny how money seems to do that very thing? Well, the problem is that Joe Biden, Joe Biden and his son Hunter are indebted to nasty entities, and they're going to want some kind of payback. Well, that means you got to do something nice for the bad guys.
Yeah, well, I heard this. I didn't get to read all the details, but there was some deal recently made with China over the masks, where the mask would cost as much as $6 a piece, and that was to pay back China for what Biden has taken from them. And so put all the mask mandates on the American population to help pay for the crap that they did.
Exactly.
To enrich themselves.
Exactly. So we got a bunch of funky monkeys in various places. I think that they have the right to do what they're doing. And the problem is that they not only don't have that right, but they're going to be called to answer for the exercise thereof. Ooh, what do you mean my videos is in the meat grinder? No.
Wait a minute.
Hey, that's well, the honest truth is this. Each and every last one that is decided or adjudicated against their oath of office, as an example. That's not the only caveat here. The trouble is that they're blackballed. They can't be a dog catcher in a municipality anywhere, let alone anything else. They can't be a garbage man if it's a municipal entity, period, anywhere in the country. So
couldn't happen to nicer people.
Oh yeah, I can. You're liable to meet one of them at Burger King making your burger.
I don't eat there, so I don't have to worry.
Imagine what you're doing to your burger when you watch.
Exactly. Imagine what's in those burgers anyway. You wouldn't want to know.
Yeah. Well, people have held sway over people for a long time in a variety of different ways. One of those is the shortages that they're coming up with on food. Food is an essential. There are shortages out there of food. There are also shortages of available drinkable water, potable as they call it. There's also another fact that's coming up, and it's pretty nasty. There's a couple of entities that have made studies that have proved that 85%, and you can quote me on that, 85% of all dams and water holding facilities don't make muster. That means they either need to be torn down or completely overhauled. Now, think how many dams, think how many dikes like New Orleans, think how many millions of gallons of water it takes to wash somebody away. What happens if Grand Coulee just flops over? Ooh, it may not be near full, but I guarantee you it's got enough in there to really give you a large charge as you hold on to your floaty for dear life and hope it don't kill you.
Say, you better hope you got a life jacket.
Yeah. So this is something I'm going to cover in depth on my show, but the thing about it is that we have, for instance, you've been charged for the maintenance of your utilities, be those communication, be power, be they water or whatever. Now, here's the problem.
Yes.
They have been simply using that money to defray expenses rather than providing the maintenance necessary to do so. They had a few years back, before I moved up here, one of my neighbors asked a friend, "Wow, man, that transformer can out there on the pole blew up. Aren't they supposed to give some kind of warning sign before that?" He says, "Yeah, well, it's supposed to have a life of about 15 years. That one's been on that pole for 40, and I couldn't stand it no more, and it went off. Bluey." Okay, transformers, lines underground, you name it, doesn't matter. The reason that they're trying to get, they're trying to fix. I think the fix is in, but they're trying to fix things is because they have exceeded their capability. In other words, all of those transmission lines, electrical transmission line, the only thing I'm talking about right now, need to be doubled in size in order to handle the load. Now, 20 breaker should have handled the load. Put one in, pop. As soon as you turn it on, pop. Put a 30 in, that's 30 kilowatts. Ooh, it just barely handled it. It started glowing in the dark, turning funny colors. About a week later, you come out there and put a 35 in. So this is the circuit breakers that are holding your electricity up to keep your whiz banger, like our little show here, running. Give you another example. They have the same thing on communications, internet and phone. Those are the two. Okay. What's interesting is that they charge you this maintenance fee and it goes into the general fund. And anybody that looks at their light bill and doesn't have one that's itemized, well, then you can request by way of, just call them up and then tell them you want itemized, and I want each and every last charge explained. That gets funky real quick because they're obligated to provide the service that they have been contracted through their licensing to have. In other words, you're supposed to get an internet that don't twitch and act like a snake that's been poked too many times. Your electricity doesn't fade in and out. You're supposed to get things that no person is allowed to screw with. Now, this deals with federal communications, Federal Trade Commission, things like. What do? I sit around and collect their money. Well, my, did you know that you can back charge them for services they say they render when they didn't? Ooh, they'd have a fire sale on.
That's
interesting. They'd have a fire sale on boats in the Bahamas.
Wow. Did you hear the FCC was being fired or sued? I mean,
The who?
FCC.
FTC, yeah.
FCC. Cat. FCC.
Oh, okay.
Being
What
sued.
about it?
I just read recently that they were being sued over, like the media and the things that their licensing is in jeopardy because of the propaganda and lies that they're purporting.
Federal Communications Commission is not kosher, and it is being addressed. That is being addressed on a federal level by the people that put the original one together. Okay. Now, the same thing's happening to electrical systems and other distribution things. It's going to get fixed. God knows when, but it's going to get fixed. Now, you hear about these things, you think somebody talking out there, Watusi. The only problem is that if you check it, you'll find these things are real. You'll find out that 85% of the dams don't make muster. And you'll find out that 30%, now try this is lovely, 30% of the hydroelectric might fall over at any time. Imagine that. Imagine if Grand Coulee Dam hydroelectric fell over, plop. You realize there'd be a wall of water. Hoo-hoo.
And everybody's electricity would go out as well, right?
Yeah. But the thing is that we have not taken charge of the condition of our infrastructure in something along the lines of 50 years. In the 1950s, it was a thing to build good infrastructure, using the right heavier wire than you're supposed to. The 1960s, 70s, and 80s changed that. These people thought that they could take the same money that you're spending for maintenance and put it in the general fund. Oh, that keeps our costs down. Hey, I like that. So you're getting screwed twice.
We're getting screwed so many ways. It's not even funny, and it's partly our. We have to look at our own self and our, being asleep at the wheel and letting this stuff go on.
Yeah, but you got to realize that it's happening before you can do something about it.
Exactly. Most people don't have a clue, do they?
Exactly. And we are going to end up. This is why Trump is going to win the thing, or should win the
he will.
Litigation he's got.
Yeah, he will. We got crooked judges, but that exists too.
Because the evidence is something that can't be disputed. Just that simple. So I'm looking for the time.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. But then things gonna go crazy because they're gonna try to fight it in any way they can because they know they're going to jail.
Yeah. Well, do you know how hard it is to have a court case from jail? Or to run an office for that matter? Or there's a whole bunch of things.
Yeah. Well, they got no business running a anything in a jail anyway, because they shouldn't. They were doing wrong in the first place. They were doing wrong to the people, and the people who entrusted them in those positions.
Mm-hmm.
So the people got to stand up, though. That's the other thing. I mean, you got to have a backbone.
We got a lot of people that stand up, but there's a whole lot of people that are, as you say, fair weather soldiers. Like a home when it starts getting funky and raining on.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, I don't have much else at this point in time. Do you have anything else you want to bring out that people should know about?
Yeah, just keep watching. Here's a trick on the vaccine, the antigen. It should have been out by 11:15. Because they had it completed about the 20th
Do you
of
know,
October.
I'm going to have to stop you there, Drake.
Whoa. The CDC.
I don't trust the CDC. It's a patent. It patents vaccines. They're dirty. They're a company for profit. And this vaccine happens to have messenger RNA, which will change your DNA I mean, I can provide the proof. It's right on the labels of
When
the
you
thing.
start seeing everybody act like a zombie, you know you got them.
Exactly, and it's got what do they call it? MR5, something like that. It's fetal tissue. Fetal tissue, lung from a 14-month-old young.
Yum, 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 yum.
I mean, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting.
Well,
and we're not even supposed to talk about this. Now I can't put this up on YouTube.
Well, that's like putting aluminum in the water supply and saying it's good for you.
Yeah, or putting mercury in your teeth and saying it's good for you. Oh,
yeah, this stuff just goes, don't stop, and all that.
And not to mention the Wi-Fi thing and everything else. Oh my God, it's just endless. You know, and it's amazing that humanity is still standing. You know, we are extremely resilient creatures.
Why don't you use Rumble?
Yeah, I did. I got one. The last one we did, I put it on Rumble, but then I took a chance and put it up on YouTube as well. But this one, when we talk about, you can't talk. Why can't we talk about stuff that really irritates me? You know, you don't have to believe us. You don't have to. You can go do some research on your own. But to just tell people, well, you can't even hear this. What?
Well, that's what Google, Facebook, Twitter, etc. are doing to everybody.
Yeah, remember? I mean, some of the best sources of information have been taken down.
The story on Hunter Biden and his dad. They shut their whole Twitter feed down. It's still down. Was. You know.
They are keeping information from people in order to control them because they only want their narrative.
That means it's time to do something to them. That means it's time to get even. I'd like to see them grinch up and have problems sleeping at night.
Yeah. They need to be taken down. They're liars, and it's just wrong. Okay, so out there, people, I'm going to have to put this up on Rumble because of what was said about vaccines and maybe a number of other things. But it's important for you to know the truth about that. That will change you. That will change your DNA in a way that's never been done before. And if you really go and look at the ingredient label and then look up some of the words that you don't know what it is, you will be flabbergasted.
Zombie voters coming to get you.
Exactly. And that doesn't even cover the other adjuvants in it, you know, the aluminum and so on. It just is endless.
Yummy.
Anyway.
Okay. So are we done, do you think?
Okay, well, look for this on Rumble because we can't put it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh well. That's the way it is. Do you have anything else, Drake? I'm pretty well.
No, I don't. I would love to give you more, but I'd have to be making it up, and I don't do that.
Good. I'm glad. We know people that do. So anyway,
yes.
On that note, I would like to say bye to everyone. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again sometime. And pay attention to what's going on. Bye.